Hey Siri, suck my balls. So do you want to know an interesting fact about CenturyLink Field, which is now called something else Field?
What?
When they, like when they host soccer games, and like the big soccer stars, they can't play on artificial turf. They actually just lay the grass, like the sod out, right on top of that field. Dirt and everything. There's nothing, no barrier between the sod.
I've played soccer
and
on fields like that.
where it's sod on.
No. What the Seahawks field is.
Yeah, I mean that's fine to
The,
me. Like,
that
but,
artificial shit with the little black balls, right?
yeah,
And they get in your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my field was at my high school.
But the like FIFA World Cup stuff and what have you, they can't play on artificial turf. They have to play on real grass.
Yeah, I know
So
that.
when they whenever those games like friendlies or International Champions Cup is at that field, I think they renamed it Lumen Field. I don't know. I just read it. Like simply saw a quick Facebook post on it. But what they do is they just lay the sod right on top of the turf. I think that's weird.
That is weird. Like, how does it grow and connect together?
It doesn't because they pull it up afterwards. Because the Sounders play on the artificial turf. But I don't know. Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everybody. It's Fast Talk Podcast. I'm Matt. That's Pete.
Halftime.
The White Eagle. Halftime of the Thursday night game. So wherever you're watching, it's Thursday night, November 19th for us. And the Seahawks are up 16-7 on the Cardinals. A matchup of the
In
Birds.
Seattle. Cardinals
Like,
have already won.
You're the White Eagle, get it, in the Birds.
Yeah. I have to make a White Eagle logo.
Should, yeah.
I'll have Dave draw it. Can he draw?
I don't know.
Have Ray draw it.
Ray could draw a good one, yeah.
Ray draw my White Eagle logo.
So we're talking like not a lot of sports going on. Baseball is done. Basketball's in its off season.
They just had
Football's
the
going
draft.
on. Hockey, nobody knows what the hell's going on with hockey.
Well, with basketball, they've got a start date, December 22nd.
Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly, I think things are gonna get worse and pushed back because with the COVIDs and all this sort of stuff.
I think people are over it.
Yeah, no, people are over it, but
I think
because the numbers keep climbing, everybody's gonna like shutdowns are gonna keep happening or are gonna get worse. Like we're gonna shut down next week.
Yeah,
the Valley.
Sizzleack already has said that. I mean, at least it's during Thanksgiving. My club's closed anyway.
Yeah, and nobody's gonna listen during Thanksgiving. To me, the problem is here in Nevada. I can't talk about the rest of the country or the world, but in Nevada, we're so dependent upon the casinos and the resorts. So you can't shut those down. You just can't do it anymore. So what I think is a good solution, if you ask me, is just increase or grow your inspection team, Governor, and just fine them and have incremental fines every day. So for every time you see a bartender without a mask, or you see people not social distancing, or you see things not getting cleaned in between people, add those fines up. $100 for the first one, $200, $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,500, $5,000, and then by the time they reach these fines of $100 million, they're going to be like, oh crap, we can't afford these fines anymore. We're going to start falling in line. Because ultimately, I don't think it's fair to penalize locals for what visitors are doing. Like, we're clean and safe here at Mackenzie River. We how many
super
times
clean
has you
and
watched
safe.
this bar since we've been here?
I gotta sanitize every instrument,
Yeah.
every doorknob between every session with my kids. I do it.
I mean, most of
get
us
the
are
masks.
doing our jobs, but a lot of times it's the, especially nowadays in Vegas, the rooms are cheaper, so shittier. We're getting scummier, crappier, shittier people coming into town. And you've seen it with all these shootings. We've had 10 shootings on the strip in the last, 4 or 5 months.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Because we're, the rooms that used to be $150 a night are now $22 a night. So the scum of the earth is now visiting Vegas. And I hate to say that because it's nice of them to come to Vegas and spend their money, but these are shitty people that we don't want coming here.
Yeah, I have to. My lease is up on November 30th. I thought I would have been okay buying the house. Obviously, that's not happening. So
Yeah.
I got a storage unit now, and I got an Airbnb till December 20th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was $50 a day. It's actually cheaper than my rent would have been for December.
Wow. Dang. That's pretty good.
And it's like a guest house somewhere in the Southwest.
Okay. I'm very intrigued.
But yeah, no, I've seen this. Like my kids at the club showed me a video. They got one of the people they know got video of the shooting that was at Circus.
Damn. That's great.
Yeah, because of shitty people that are coming here because it's cheap. But
And it's terrible. Like, folks, if you suck at life, don't come to Vegas. You know, I don't care how cheap it is. Don't come. We don't want you here. We don't want the sucky people. We only want good people that are willing to spend a lot of money and tip people a lot.
I'm fine. You know what this thing is?
And
like,
lose a lot of money.
Fine with the shutdown of everything, but the thing is, you got to cover the bills of everyone that you're keeping from work.
That's the other thing too. Yeah, if you're gonna shut down, that's cool. We want another stimulus. That's essential because if you're costing all these, you're saying by shutting down, I don't want you to work. I can't have you working. Well, then you either need to cover my food and my electricity and my phone and my Netflix and my rent, or let me go to work.
Yeah.
That's the real issue, you know.
That's exactly what it is, and that's why people are going to get so pissed. You know those insane riots are coming.
Yeah.
The second Sizzalab shuts it down, and he's
Yeah.
going to. Like,
Wait.
did you get the letter last week?
No.
He said giving us like a 2-week ultimatum.
Oh yeah. That's on the. That was in his speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that.
So, I guess the first comment on it was someone with like a middle finger in here too. It's funny though because I was on the tram to my terminal in Orlando, and there was 2 people in front of me, and she said Sizzalak, and I lit up because how often are you going to be with another Nevadan
Right.
in a terminal in Orlando? So I was like, I heard about that too, and I was like, you guys Reno or Vegas? And she's like, oh, we're Vegas. I go, yeah, I'm Vegas too. So I go, I know up in Reno they can't stand Sizzalak. So
I mean, the hard part is, look, these are tough decisions.
every governor is hated. Every governor, no matter who. If he was the most beloved governor of all time before this shutdown, he's going to be
Yeah,
the most hated
and-
governor of all time because of the decisions that you have had to make.
And like the hard part is, you could tell that, you know, early in March when Sizzalak was making these decisions, boom, 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 this is what it is, and then, oh shit, my voters hate me. So, and I want to get reelected in 2 years. So now I'm going to be a little more cautious with these decisions. Now, you know what? Now I can't really put all these people out of work because those people I put
He's
out of work
already doomed.
already for 2 months are the people that are going to vote for me.
He's
Yeah.
already doomed. He's not going
Yeah,
to get voted again.
I don't think there's going to be an incumbent governor that wins next cycle. I mean, this whole thing is terrible, and they're hard decisions. It's tough to make the decision what he did, and whether or not you agree with it, something needed to be done. And fact of the matter is, there's going to be people that like it, and there's going to be people that don't like it. Whatever decision you needed to make, but you couldn't go forward the way we were, and you can't go forward the way we're going right now because people are dying, people are getting sick, people are getting crippled with terrible medical bills that they can't afford. So we need
I'm
to
less
do
sympathetic
something to
toward
stop
that, and I might be an asshole,
because your dad's a doctor.
but don't go out if you're afraid to get it. Don't go out if you're afraid to get it. Let us that are
But
not
you still have to
afraid-
go to work. That's the thing. You still have to go to work. There are still people that have to go to work and that have to interact. Like, let's say you're a cashier at a grocery store. If that's your job,
No, that's what it should. There should
can't tell
be
those
a,
people
instead of
don't
them
go out.
saying like, oh hey, well we don't have enough money to give everyone a stimulus check, then have an opt-out thing. I want to opt out because I'm afraid for my health. But let everyone that's not
yeah.
afraid
But if you're going to
go
stay
in.
home, then those are the people that need the money. If you have to go out, Like you have to go out.
That's what I'm saying. Give them the stimulus.
The people that are going out.
No, the people that opt out and stay home.
Oh, okay.
But it
Yeah.
won't be near what their normal paycheck will be.
No, it shouldn't be.
You
for
look at their
anybody.
expenses and you give them enough to cover it. Like you fill out a thing. I know that's gonna take forever to get through. Shit, I'm still waiting on my fucking taxes and my unemployment.
I think what they should do, in all seriousness, is instead of a stimulus, just have a forgiveness and say, okay, let's just do this on a federal level because it's a hell of a lot easier on a federal level than it would be on a state level. Say Joe Biden takes office on January 20th, says, hey, we're going to shut down everything for the month of February. Nobody goes anywhere.
Can't wait till that.
I know. But I'm just this is a hypothetical. Just give me the hypotheticals here. We do a forgiveness program for the month of February. Nobody has to pay any bills in February. The people that owe or are owed the money,
No, it would be
they
if you
apply
want
for
to
the
shut
federal
down
government.
for February, it's March that you wouldn't owe anything.
Okay, yeah, whatever it is. The bills that are due in February.
The bills that are due in March, because you'll be getting the money for the bills that are due in March in February.
Yeah, well, okay, however it works.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so like, I pay CenturyLink $56 for my internet. So
So for the month of March, you wouldn't have to.
I don't have to, and then CenturyLink wants that $56, they apply for it from the federal government. You know, I pay my landlord $1,400 a month. I don't have to. He applies to the federal government for the $1,400. You know, that's what I think is the best way to do it. Yeah, that's all I got. I want to go to Red Robin, sit at their bar. I haven't been there for a while, but I like their
Red
cheeseburgers and I like their fry sauce.
I will say, because it won't get posted, it'll get posted to Matt's Facebook, not this thing. I went to Zaxby's when I was in Orlando.
I wanted to be surprised when I watched it, but
Huh?
tell me about it.
No, that's it. I went to Zaxby's going, okay, well, then I'll save it. It was pretty good. I'll leave it at that.
Zaxby's is good, yeah. I like
Because we kept seeing the commercials for it, watching these shows. So I was
Do
like,
you-
fuck it.
Did you get the sandwich?
Yes.
Compare it to Popeyes.
Completely different thing.
Compare it to Chick-fil-A.
No, it's not a spicy chicken. It was like a buffalo chicken thing.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I just got the regular chicken when I was there.
But yeah, it was good. And then,
Did you go to Bojangles?
no, I didn't.
I want to go to Bojangles too.
So yeah, anyway, halftime, we're getting back to the second half now. Cardinals are down 7-16. I don't know if any games are worth a shit.
I don't know. I know the Patriots play the Houston Texans.
Well, so that's a win. So you get back to 500.
It's very tough for the Patriots
You
to
want
win.
to?
in
Speaking
Houston.
of the Texans, is that the worst trade in the history of the NFL?
DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, it might have been.
That's the second or fourth, and David Johnson.
That's pretty bad. It didn't work out. I mean, I think Houston thought David Johnson of pre-torn ACL was going to
But
be
he
available.
hasn't been good in 2 years.
But a lot of that, I think, was the coaching too. What's his name?
Bill O'Brien?
No, the coach the Cardinals had before Kingsbury.
Steve Keim?
He's
No, that's the GM. Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes. Yeah, he didn't really use DJ, and Kingsbury didn't want to. He didn't fit into Kingsbury's offense. So it was good to, they just had to get rid of him.
Look, Kenyon Drake, they traded for him, and he came in and did so well.
Yeah, because
But
Kenyon Drake's a completely
You're
different
trading
type of
away the best receiver, arguably, in football. You got to ask for a first rounder, and you don't accept anything other than a first rounder. I guarantee you there would have been other teams out there, if they're looking to move DeAndre Hopkins, that would have given you a first round. I think we would have given them a first rounder.
Would you have taken, let's say it was David Johnson and a second round pick? Would you have done that? Would you have done DJ in the second rounder?
They got a second rounder. It was
Oh,
a
they did
second,
get-
a fourth, and David Johnson.
Oh, shit, okay. I thought it was straight up.
I always
Or
looked at it
maybe-
when you're trading away your first round pick, you're basically drafting the person you're trading for.
Yeah, like Khalil Mack with the Bears.
Well, that's two
My
first
bad.
round picks.
That was too Amari Cooper with the Cowboys. I throw
But
a lot
look
of
what the
stuff out
Raiders
on
have
the
done with those. Ruggs
Ruggs.
and
Jacobs?
Jacobs.
Weird.
Alabama guys.
Who those guys go to school? Didn't they draft that other kid too? I don't know. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It was a crappy pick, or crappy trade.
For the Texans.
It worked out awesomely for Arizona, yeah. Damn it, Kenyon. But I think Houston is not an easy place to play for the Patriots. We've lost there a couple times. Patriots have trailed in the fourth quarter in every game they've played in Houston since that stadium was built, except for one. Two of those games you know of because it was Super Bowl 38 and Super Bowl 51. But it's not an easy place to play, and Watson is an awesome quarterback. You know, Watson, he's finally getting some.
Is Fuller V out?
Is Fuller V out? I don't know. He's finally getting some chemistry with the other receivers. I think he was
either Kenny Stills or
Stills
Fuller
or
V
Cobb
that's out.
or Cooks. And Fuller V, I mean, they got a lot. I mean, David Johnson
Well,
is
that's
out.
why they traded him. They traded Hopkins because you have Fuller, you have Stills,
And I think
and I think Deshaun Watson was forcing the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. I can throw the flag on that. That's unnecessary roughness. There we go.
See, Hopkins is that kind of guy that as long as he's not being held or interfered with, he's going to get a hand on the ball.
Well, he went up between three guys.
And Watson was, I think, reliant upon him to catch a ball. And
Like
at the
Pro
beginning of this
Bowler-
year, it was different. It was
a
a
Pro
different
Bowler
scenario.
corner, Tre'Davious White, and then two All-Pro safeties, I think Buffalo has. And he went up between all three of them and caught that fucking Hail Mary.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We're calling it the Hail Murray.
Hail Murray.
I like
I
that.
let out a holy shit probably louder than I've ever yelled when I was watching
So
it.
can I tell you, it was really funny. Like, my mom was making stuffed shells for dinner, and she hasn't made stuffed shells in like 15 years. She goes, "Hey, can we have our stuffed shells around 6 o'clock?" And I go, "No, the Patriots play tonight. How about like 4:30?" And she's like, "Okay, 4:30." And so it's 4:30, and she's like, "Matthew, dinner's ready." I know, you guys are watching me, and you're like, "Dude, you're 40 years old. What the fuck?" She said, "Matthew, dinner's ready." And I'm like, "Hold on, the game is still going on." And she's like, "I thought you said the game started at 5:20. And I'm like, it does, but that's a different game. This is the Cardinals. We got to watch the Cardinals. And there's like 10 seconds left. I'm like, there's only one play. He's going to bounce, and we're fine. And then, like, I see Hopkins catch the ball. And I'm like, he caught it. It's a fucking Hail Mary. It's a Hail Mary. It's over. The Cardinals are winning. The Cardinals won. And like I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, I was like, I can't remember when I saw a Hail Mary work out well for one of my teams. What the heck?
I was in the living room, and the lady was working on her homework stuff in the other room, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And she was like sprinting out. I'm like, "It's football. You don't care." She's like, I was like, "You just caught a huge pass," and she's like, "Oh, I want to see it."
It was awesome. It was really, really cool. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad I got the chance to see it live. But yeah, so one of the things I do now without sports is I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of documentaries. And one thing that I watched was the possibility of the NFL expanding to 40 teams. And they said by the end of this decade, it's feasible. The NFL expanding to 40 teams.
In 9 years?
Yeah. Which would be obviously 8 more
You're
teams.
gonna do 20. Should do 2020. Like a promotion thing.
Oh yeah.
How do you do 40 teams? That's too many.
So, but they're saying, it wouldn't be that much of a drop in talent.
Yes, it would. That's 8 more teams.
It's 8 more teams, but you spread out.
How many good quarterbacks do we have now for our 32 teams? Like 5?
We got a decent amount of decent quarterbacks. You got backup quarterbacks that could start.
No.
Like Joe Flacco could start in the NFL. Mine's the good old boy. Yes. Thank you.
bastard.
Parmesan.
Yeah, both.
I'm doing this, but what I really mean to do is, yeah.
I don't think. No, that's.
Hey, it's buy one get one free pizzas today, Sunday, and Monday at Mac River. So come on down.
Yeah,
You probably
come get-
won't even see this before then, but come on down before they shut down.
before they shut down.
Get a pizza.
I don't think the talent pool would drop just so immensely.
I think no. If you spread that out, it's probably about 10 guys per team. I think it's gonna be even.
I hate that. I hate
Hey.
the idea of that.
So all right. Anyways,
That's
just-
why I think there's so
just-
many shitty teams now. Is because
There aren't
there's
shitty.
too many
There's only the Jets.
Chargers.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking. There's a lot of shitty teams.
Okay. But
Not in the NFC West. Everyone in the NFC West.
there's
is
a
pretty
decent
good.
amount of parity in the NFL, and I don't think
That's the
adding,
worst spot I've
adding
ever
more
seen.
teams is gonna hurt the parity. So, anyways, this is my question. I mean, ultimately, it would probably end up being one extra team per division, right?
Yeah, it would be.
So, what are your 8 cities that you would expand to if the NFL went to 40?
Okay, I'll add one to each division. AFC East,
So basically, 2 East, 2 North, 2 Central.
2 East, 2 North, 2 South, 2 Central. 2 East, 2
Yeah.
North, 2 South, 2 West.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 in the East. Let me think. I need a minute. Unless you already have ideas.
My thought was Toronto.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. Toronto, I like.
And then, there's a lot of talk about London.
You could do no, fuck London.
Okay.
What about okay, thinking in the South, but they don't give a fuck about the NFL. Like you could throw one in Jackson, Mississippi or something.
Birmingham. You already got an NFL stadium in Birmingham.
Well, because Florida, you already have Jacksonville, Miami, and
Tampa.
Tampa. Orlando, probably not. You got Atlanta, North Carolina. Maybe
Could you do a Memphis?
Memphis, maybe. Lexington.
Is that a big enough city?
Richmond, too close to DC.
Yeah. See,
More,
I don't know. The South is the weird one for me. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Toronto, I like, and throw Toronto in the AFC East.
St. Louis is another one.
St. Louis,
And
that's your NFC South team. What about Indian? No, they have one. Chicago has one. Salt Lake.
Chicago, I think, is another one.
Salt Lake.
I think Chicago is big enough for a second NFL team.
Albuquerque.
No.
San Antonio.
Houston, San Antonio is my NFC South.
Yeah, you could do a San Antonio. You got to give Oakland back a team.
Oakland and San Diego each got their
Portland.
teams back. You think Portland?
I think Portland.
Touchdown.
I'd give Portland the NFC West team.
So you don't. You too, Matt.
See you later. Night, Matt.
Thank you. Take care, man. Stay safe. Stay well. Have a good weekend. So you don't think San Diego?
I'd go Portland over San Diego. You had your chance, San Diego.
All right, fair enough. Is Portland big enough? Remember, they burned half the city to the ground. Sorry, Portland. Or would you do more Canada? Would you do could you do a Toronto and Montreal in the East? I mean, both of those cities have had successful CFL franchises for a long time.
Vancouver,
Would you
close
like
to
Oakland,
Seattle.
Oakland and Vancouver?
too close to Seattle.
Um,
Salt Lake, I would give it to Portland and Salt Lake then if I'm doing the West.
so
North. I don't know.
the one discussion that I read or saw in the video was Columbus, Ohio.
You have 2 Ohio teams already.
That was my thing. I'm like, you already have the things, but they're like, Columbus, Ohio is a big football market right now. So there's an opportunity there. Other than that, there's not really many northern NFL cities unless you put St. Louis up there. I mean, Milwaukee's the only other option.
Well, you have the Packers.
Or you could go to Winnipeg, home of the Blue Bombers. But I don't know.
About like Des Moines or Omaha.
Omaha is a possibility. Well, yeah, because you got the things in the joint there.
Yeah, but they suck.
Yeah.
No one cares. Everyone there is obsessed with the Cornhuskers.
That's it. Yeah, everybody's, and so they love their football. And then Omaha was a market for the short-lived United Football League. So, I mean, they've had pro football there before. It's a possibility, and they could play they could actually play in Lincoln. I mean, the two cities are what, 40, 50 miles apart?
I'm not sure.
I don't actually know that, so please don't correct me, Nebraska
We don't know
geography
Nebraska.
experts. I'm just guessing based on where their locations on the map that I know. Like Omaha's here and Lincoln's here, or they're like
Omaha's right on the border with Iowa.
Yeah, they're like this.
I know this.
That's 40
Yeah,
miles
I think
between
you
the two.
could give Chicago a second team, though. I think good.
Yeah. Chicago's the third largest city in the nation.
So you give San
By
Antonio
population.
like AFC South, and then you give St. Louis NFC South, and I'm giving Portland and at Salt Lake. That's my West. Toronto, I like Toronto.
I like the Toronto-Montreal idea.
Got it.
Because then we can watch it on the French channels, too. I don't know. It was just something I thought was pretty interesting to talk about. Something that we could waste some time talking about. The other thing I thought was, what if they added another division of European teams? Because there's been a lot of talk about London, and the whole London thing is like, is it feasible? Is it not feasible? Would they would play their first 8 games at home, have a bye week, then come to the U.S. and play their 8 games on
That's
the road?
unfair.
Or the other option.
That's unfair.
What? How is it unfair? Because they always get a bye week in the
8
middle of the
home
season.
games in a row. 8 road games in a row.
8 road games in a row, 8 home games in a row.
In a completely different country.
Yeah. Well, most of the players would be American anyways. I mean, it's American football, but it's I don't know. It's just something I thought of. But yeah, like that's what I'm saying is.
Who would you give teams? London.
So I would give the teams to like London,
Paris?
Barcelona, Paris, and maybe Munich.
Madrid.
Possibly.
Berlin.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the teams that had the World League teams. Barcelona Dragons. I think there was a German team called the Fire, but I don't remember where they played. The London Monarchs. I mean, you could do 4 European teams. And it could be the same type of scenario with those 4 teams. They could do 4 home, 4 roads on the against the U.S. and come back and do 4 more homes, and then or 5 more home. I don't know, 4 more homes, and then road against the rest of the European division. I don't know.
I don't want any European teams. Just too far.
Okay.
You're sounding like Goodell. That's like, do you think the Premier League even thinks, hey, we should have an American team?
No, but that's because that's the FA. You know, they already got 80 some odd teams just in the professional ranks.
I would go Canada and Mexico before I would go.
Yeah, I know. But see, they just have the London, and that the talk is always London. I mean, I personally would do.
It's a pipe dream.
I wouldn't do London unless I had other European teams. Again, just based on the fairness of it.
I think Mexico City would get a team before London will get a team.
That's interesting. Let's put odds on that. Put some odds on that. Somebody that does betting. Which city will get an NFL team first?
What city outside of the United States?
Toronto's probably the most likely. Because
Toronto is the most
if
likely.
the Bills don't do their stadium thing that they want to do, then there's a chance they'll move right up in the Rogers Center.
What are NFL teams that are in weird besides Buffalo and Pittsburgh and Green Bay? That's it, huh? For like weird small market cities.
Jacksonville. I think yeah. But Buffalo still has an NHL team. Green Bay and Jacksonville, I think, are the only ones that are there by themselves. I mean, even Vegas has the Knights.
Interesting. I just don't see 40 teams.
I don't know. It's just it's a long way down the line. But I was just saying that's what they were talking about. Because as population grows, they did a formula based on population growth and expectations per city and per team and people by team, and it made sense that based on the population expectation by 2030, there should be 40 NFL teams.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know. So
Wouldn't that work with every other sport too?
theoretically, yeah.
You could do it with anyone else. Like, where would you add an NBA team? Where would you add an NHL?
Seattle. Oh, that's for NBA. They already got an NHL. NHL, I would add to
Milwaukee.
I would add to Milwaukee. Milwaukee hockey.
I would give Milwaukee a team.
I think Minnesota could support another team.
Probably could.
I think you go to New England. I think Maine could support a team. If you did like Portland, Maine could support an NHL team. Hockey is huge in those two markets. I think Houston could support a team.
Houston.
That's the 3rd largest city or 4th largest city in America. I don't know. It's a large city, and it doesn't have a hockey team.
You could give Cincinnati, Cleveland.
I don't know. Like, they have Columbus. It's I don't know.
gotta fight.
Russ in there.
We gotta fight.
I think, yeah, it's very interesting. I like the only organization that has had, or only league that has discussions about expansion is the NFL. So, I don't know. I like the 32 games, or 32 teams, the 16 game schedule. The way it works is fine. The 17th game that they've added for next year screws everything up. Just makes it uneven and unfair and just wacky. Whatever. It is what it is. hockey announced the new reverse retro jerseys for every team. Here at the Knights, we finally got the one everybody wanted. Everybody wanted a red jersey with the alternate logo on the front. So that's
And they did a good job paying tribute to
the Thunder
The
and
Thunder.
the Wranglers.
And the
Yeah,
Wranglers.
yeah, that's what they were trying to do. Is just throw back to the other teams, and I think it looks nice. I mean,
way better than the gold jersey.
it's way better than the gold jersey. But then again, like, Jesus Christ, I could wear this napkin, and it would look better than the gold jersey.
That's
The
true.
golden jersey is terrible. Did you see the silver one that the Silver Knights announced? It's downstairs. Just check it out. It looks pretty decent. It's not my favorite, but it looks good.
I saw a few of the other ones. I like the Sabres one. It's like two swords.
Oh yeah, in the blue color.
I like the. Crap! I totally forgot.
The Bruins.
The other one's okay.
I like the Bruins because it's gold, but it's got that 80s Cam Neely, Ray Bork era B.
And then the Avs are doing their throw to the Nordiques.
Yeah, that I like that, bringing in Avs colors. The Wild did the throwback to the
North Stars?
the North Stars and the North Stars colors. It's a Wild jersey, but North Stars colors. They're gonna go for 2 though, right?
Right.
Try to make it a 10-point game. And if not, it's still they requires an 2-point conversion to tie it. Seattle just scored. It's 22-14, pending the PAT. What was the other one? I like the Ducks. Did the
Yeah, the Ducks one looks
the
good.
thing.
It's
The,
not the Mighty Duck bullshit. It's a different one.
Yeah, it's Mighty Duck. It's just like
It's not like
it's
the
not the cool Mighty Ducks logo though. It's the other cartoony one.
Yeah, but there's some good ones. Like I'll probably buy the red jersey for sure. You know, probably Will Carlson, I guess.
I'm debating on whether I want the Bruins one, which I really, really like, or the Knights one. So, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I might get them both. What the hell? Who knows? Maybe I'll win $100 at Red Rock tomorrow night. I'm not going to Red Rock tomorrow night. I'm going tonight. But yeah, it's an interesting concept that they did this for the entire league.
I saw something about they're reversible.
No, it's just called reverse retro.
Oh, that's what it is, reverse retro.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the Golden Knights one for sure. I don't know why I would get any other team, so.
Yeah, right. Some of them just look crappy. I didn't like the Blues one.
Flames one looks stupid, I think. The Penguins look stupid.
Yeah, I mean they just threw back to other like alternate jerseys
The Blues one is that horrible colors.
with the red.
Yeah.
The red doesn't look right for the Blues. I mean, sorry, it just doesn't look good.
When your name's the Blues, you can't have any red
Yeah.
in your thing.
Speaking to a guy whose team is the Red Sox, that wears a hell of a lot of blue. But yeah, that's it. So check them out if you haven't checked them out. You know, maybe I'll put a link in the comments. Somewhere.
I
I'm
would
pointing a whole
appreciate
bunch of places. I don't know how this thing works. Yeah, we're gonna put a link to check out the retro jerseys. Check them out and write in the comments what you think. By the way, while you're there, make sure to click that little button that says subscribe. You don't have to click the bell. Every other YouTube video will tell you click the bell to get notifications for when they post new videos. I don't give a shit if you click the bell. I just want you to subscribe. Okay? Just subscribe because I need 100 subscribers. Just click subscribe, folks. Click subscribe. Don't click the bell. I don't give a damn if you click the bell. Just click subscribe. Be a good Fast Talk listener and click subscribe. All right, my next thing. This was the last thing I had before we get to the draft. Dude, did you guys see the Leinster Hurling Championship on Saturday morning or Saturday night if you guys were in
UK?
in Ireland or the UK. Yeah. No, you probably didn't, because half of you guys don't even know what hurling is. The greatest sport known to man. Cats, Kilkenny Cats, always there. Haven't won it in a while, but going up against Galway. Galway's the new guys on the block. You know, last few years they finally decided to join the party, and great matchup, back and forth, all game long. And finally, the Cats pulled it out to win the Leinster Provincial Championship, which is really cool. They're going to be heading on to, actually gives them berth in the semifinals of the All-Ireland tournament, which will be coming up soon. Pretty damn cool. They could end up playing Galway again, because Galway's going to be playing in the quarterfinals of the All-Ireland tournament. But
Another city?
counties.
Galway?
Yeah, counties.
Is it county?
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran has a song called Galway Girl.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Probably about a girl from Galway County. Yeah, or County Galway. But yeah, it's broken down by, like, there's 4 provinces in Ireland, and the counties in each of those provinces play for our provincial championship, and then the winners of those, are the top teams in those, play in the All-Ireland tournament for what's called the McCarthy Cup. Now,
But you want to look up the goal, basically.
yes, so this guy, Richie Hogan, had just come into the game. He was a substitute, and
Super sub.
he scored this goal. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to put a link in the comments to watch this goal. Watch this goal from Richie Hogan. It is fucking amazing. I don't swear a lot on the Fast Talk podcast. I hardly ever use the F word, but I'm going to tell you, this goal is fucking awesome. He just kind of picks up the ball and then just, like, hits it to himself, and then around the back, behind his shoulder, goalie's out of position, into the net. And it was a key goal for the Cats, Kilkenny Cats. Kilkenny Cats are the ones in black and amber. Kind of looks like the old Steelers Bumblebee, for those of you guys that are football
Or
fans.
Hufflepuff.
But check it out, or Hufflepuff for the Harry Potter fans. But black and amber for those of us that are hurling fans. And for anybody that wants to talk hurling, hit me up when you go to the comments section and be like, Matt, let's talk hurling, because I love this. I fell in love with this sport a couple of years ago, and it's amazing. I think it's the greatest sport on earth. It's a combination of, like, every sport that you could think. Yes, please. You know, it's like footballs and soccers and rugbies and baseballs and
Field hockey.
Field hockeys and lacrosses and well, no hockey, no regular hockey because it's not on ice, and no basketball because it's not on wood.
Hard court.
Thank you, sir. But it's the awesomest sport ever. So check it out. And let's talk about the NBA draft. That was yesterday, and I watched it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I was looking at eBay most of the time. I bought a Birmingham Iron jersey for $6.
Well, the big thing was
It's new with the tags.
Lonzo's brother. Where would he go?
Now, here's my question. Is this the second one or the third one?
This is the third one.
What happened to the second one?
Not good.
Oh,
So there's Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo.
no, this one...
So LiAngelo and LaMelo went to New Zealand.
I thought they went to Lithuania.
Or Lithuania, sorry. And then LaMelo went to New Zealand.
Which is the one that got kicked out of UCLA? After they got arrested in China.
LiAngelo.
That's 2.
It's the middle. LaMelo's the youngest. LaMelo, they say, is going to be better than Lonzo.
I ain't saying much.
I mean, he does well in the Pelicans. I mean, LeBron didn't want him,
To be
but...
determined.
So, one was this kid, Anthony Edwards, out of Georgia, who's like 6'7", athletic, built kind of like D. Wade.
I like the highlights of that kid.
Minnesota took him. And then James Wiseman, who's like 7'1", just a big
your
rebounder,
boy.
shot blocker. He went to Memphis for Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, this is the kid that got suspended.
Yeah. He goes to Golden State. What I actually thought we might trade LaMarcus Aldridge on the 11th pick to Golden State for the second pick and Andrew Wiggins' contract, which is like $24 million.
Murphy, that's a lot of money.
You think Golden State would want to dump that?
Yeah.
And they can take LaMarcus Aldridge, who can just ride some coattails to a championship, potentially.
Especially with the Thompson injury that was announced yesterday.
Yeah.
And now we learned today that he's out for the season.
He's out for the season.
Which is crazy. Yeah, when I saw that yesterday, I was like, well, are they going to is that injury going to affect how they draft? And we just didn't know enough yesterday to make the decision. Would they have drafted somebody else?
So LaMelo, maybe. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he can be a Marcus Camby.
Ooh, I love Marcus
Camby. I think he can. I think he can be a Marcus Camby. The ceiling for James Wiseman, I think, is Marcus Camby. Tyson Chandler.
Okay.
Ben Wallace, but not as good defensively.
I like Ben Wallace. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm fucked. And then D'Angelo,
which is exactly something that we could have used, because you've got Derek White and DeJounte Murray in your backcourt, so we could use. He's not a big scorer. Derek White is our scorer. I'm just assuming in a post LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan world,
which hasn't happened.
Which would be my dreams. I want them both gone, and now I have to wait another year. Yeah, and LaMelo went third, and I didn't think he would, because I honestly did not think that MJ would pull the trigger on one of the Ball kids.
So here's what they brought up in the draft. This is what I watched. Remember that the Ball daddy
beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one.
He said he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one.
Yeah.
And now he's going to probably be hanging out with MJ. And I don't think Michael Jordan forgot that.
No, he did not.
I don't know. A competitor like Michael Jordan, he knows every single person that says they could beat him one-on-one. Because those people are few and far between. You know, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of his era. And some fat old black ball guy that can't even fucking make a goddamn shoe brand stick, I don't think he's gonna beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. Let's be real, LeVar. It's LeVar, right?
LeVar.
Yeah. But then how about that kid that got drafted fourth? And like his little video was all about how he sells flowers. And then I thought this was the best thing. Like, I mean, you get all these like touching moments, like my grandmother died, and I'm dedicating my career to my grandma, who was so nice to me when I wanted to play basketball and broke her vase. You know, this kid's like, I deliver flowers for my mom. So
yeah, that was awesome.
If any of my new teammates need flowers, I'm your boy.
That was Chicago. Yeah, the Bulls.
Yeah, that was dope. I love that. Kids from Florida State, and I think he was from
two Florida State
Charlotte?
guys in the top 11. Because we took a Florida State guy at 11.
Oh, damn, okay.
He's supposed to be good, like a wing, three-point shooter, defensive, nice tackle breaking. Put the ball away.
Right.
And then we took a kid from Duke, and there's something, never a bad idea to take a kid from Duke.
Never a bad idea to take a kid from Duke. What did they say? Nobody from Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, or UNC went in the first 10 or something this year.
First like Kentucky kid went at like 20. Because they had Coach Cal on later on in the draft.
Oh, okay. See, I love Coach Cal because he's real about this shit. He's like, listen, I tell these NBA coaches all the time that they're getting a fucking kid. They're getting a little boy that doesn't even know how to open a can of tuna fish. And they better teach him how to be a man because he's not ready to become a man.
I love Coach Cal. His press conferences are my favorite thing.
Remember John Chaney wanted to kill him? Those was the best. Fight him outside. If you haven't seen that video, look it up. Coach Cal and Temple coach.
But I don't think there's not a franchise-changing player in this year's draft. Everyone that's good is coming out next year.
And that's the thing. We don't even know because we didn't have a season this year.
We're not gonna have a season this year. They might play conference games, but that's it.
Supposed to start soon, aren't they?
And then somebody wanted to do a bubble tournament, right? Somewhere.
Pitino said, move it back and don't do March Madness, do May Madness. And I was like, I love it. That's what I was saying.
What else is
May
going on
Madness?
in May?
Well, that's when we would have had spring football bowl season too, but ain't nobody want to listen to me on that one. That would have been awesome.
Baseball.
That's it, baseball. And then the NBA playoffs. And the NHL playoffs.
But I'll take a March Madness game over an NBA playoff game.
all day long, unless it's a season.
It's a Spurs playoff game, yeah, but we're not gonna make the playoffs for a minute. So anyway, yeah, you guys.
Celtics will make the
You
playoffs.
had 3 picks.
Yeah, and we didn't make any trades.
No one made any trades.
That's bullshit. Like, I don't watch the NBA draft to watch Danny Ainge stand pat. Like, what the hell, Danny? We're supposed to be making trades. You're supposed to be the Bill Belichick of the NBA draft. I want trades. I want draft picks. I want this shit turning into number ones. Brah. I want things to happen. I'm sick of crappy middle first round garbage guys. Like, dude, we haven't had a good draft pick since the guy...
Jason Tatum, number 3.
I was going to say, since the guy you texted me and were like, did you just draft Channing Tatum?
That was
All of a sudden, everybody is gone in this bar. And, like, now we can hear things now. It was super loud, but now everybody's gone.
super loud.
But, yeah, we haven't had a good draft pick since...
Well, you needed a big
JT.
man. You needed a big man.
Yeah, and
To go
Shaquille
in.
O'Neal's not walking through that door. And Walter McCarty's not walking through that door.
You would think, like,
And unfortunately, the late Tommy Heinsohn is not
you
walking
have
through that
3
door.
first-round picks. Unless, did you use them all? If I was Ainge, I would have packaged them for next year's.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be like 3 or 4 guys in the next draft.
Well, we've probably got like 8 picks next year, too. I mean, fucking guy.
Oklahoma City has like 13 first-rounders over the next 4 years or something like that.
That's pretty good.
Especially with trading Chris Paul to the Suns like they did. I'm going to go to Phoenix to go to a game now, hopefully. They're playing games at home.
To see Chris Paul?
Yeah.
You like Chris Paul?
I like Chris Paul.
Really? I didn't know you liked Chris Paul. I mean, like, to me, like, here's my thing about Chris Paul. I've always liked Chris Paul. I was a big Chris Paul fan when he was
My
in
favorite
school.
players are like the distributing point guard, like John Stockton. Always one of my favorite players.
Rajon Rondo. Yeah. I agree with you. I like a good one, and Paul. I've never heard anything negative about Chris Paul. Yet, I mean, outside of some of those State Farm commercials, I mean,
Would
let's
you
be
rather
real.
have Chris Paul or the new Chris Paul?
I would rather have the Chris Paul, but also Alfonso Ribeiro.
Depends on what you're doing. Are we playing basketball or are we doing anything else?
We're dancing to
If we're
Tom
dancing
Jones,
to Tom
bro.
Jones, I want the new Chris
We're
Paul.
not dancing to Tom Jones.
If we're playing jump on it, I need Carlson to,
Yeah.
jump on it. Jump on it. Jump
Which,
on it.
let me finish my Chris Paul thought, and then I have another thing. Why does nobody want Chris Paul? Nice. Why does nobody want Chris Paul? Why did the Pelicans didn't want him? The Clippers didn't want him. The Thunders didn't want him.
You went from the Clippers to the Rockets, and then the Rockets to the Thunder, and now from the Thunder to the Suns.
Yeah, all those teams didn't want him. The only team that wanted him was the
Lakers,
Lakers, and
and they
David
didn't
Stern
give
was like, "Fuck you." I don't know. Why does nobody want him? Like, is he a cancer in the clubhouse? Is he a bad dude? Does he like, when you send him naked pictures of your wife, does he show everybody? Like, what's going on? Like, I mean, why does everybody or nobody want Chris
Honestly,
Paul?
I don't think Phoenix is like, what is he going to do there? Like, throw
He's gonna
lobs
be
to
the-
DeAndre Ayton?
He's gonna be the veteran leader, and like him and Ricky Rubio.
It's because they made that little run in the bubble. They went undefeated in the bubble. And they're like, yeah, Rubio's in Minnesota.
Rubio went back to
He
Minnesota.
went back to Minnesota.
Oh, WTF! See, I don't pay
Yeah, it literally just happened yesterday.
any attention to the NBA. So, except for
I have T-Mobile and I get like a free subscription to the Atlantic for a year. So they just send me like shit like that. I wasn't looking it up. I just saw it.
he's like, I don't want you guys to think that I was actually searching Chris Paul information or Phoenix Suns. No. I'll know everything I gotta know about Victor Oladipo. He's on the Pacers, right? Yes. See, I know that shit.
Let's go. How are you?
Wide open.
Oh, touchdown! Bring on them Seahawks fans.
It's a game, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for the draft. I mean, we'll just see what.
Yeah.
So, I guess Vegas shit.
Do you have any Vegas sports notes? I don't.
No.
I don't either. I mean,
Other than the jersey.
The only thing I could think of was like the V, like they have a V on the jersey. Like this isn't really good the way I'm doing this on the retro jersey. That's like a throwback to the Thunder, and like that was my design for the lights. Was like a V, a striped V on the jersey. So Lash Brook. At least Mr. Foley over there listening. Although, granted, I don't do my podcast at your house. I do it at Bill's. But anyways, that's all I got.
Well, speaking of draft and picks, our top 5.
We were going to do Bond Girls.
That's right.
But B texted me with this idea, and I was like, good, because I haven't watched enough Bond movies yet.
I forgot we were going to do Bond Girls also.
And I'm trying to justify putting Christmas Jones in the top 5, and I can't.
Well, that movie sucked.
And she sucked too. There was a great scene where she's in the water, and she's wearing the white t-shirt, and she comes up, but it's not as good of a wet t-shirt contest as it could have been. If it was Sean Connery, it would have been better, but Pierce Brosnan is probably too respectful. Anyways.
You think Starship Troopers would have been a better movie if it would have seen her titties, you see, instead of the other chicks?
Yes. Any movie with her
Denise
titties.
Richards in a shower scene.
Any movies with Denise Richards' tits would be a better movie.
I love that movie though. I love Starship
You could put them
Troopers.
like just randomly in the Shawshank, and it would make the Shawshank better. And you can't
It's
make
hard
the
to make
Shawshank
the
better.
Shawshank a better movie.
But tits would do it. Tits would do it.
All right, top number 1 picks.
Number 1
Any
picks of all
across the
time.
sport.
Any sport. No fantasy drafts and no stupid ass Pro Bowl drafts. No mock drafts. None of that shit. So I don't want to hear like, oh well, I took Tom Brady number 1 in my fantasy draft, so he's the best number 1 pick. Fuck you. None of that shit. Real number 1 picks. My number 5 is the guy that plays right over there, Marc-Andre Fleury, number 1 pick for the Pittsburgh Penguins, won the Stanley Cup 3 times, played for it another time here in Vegas, and he is the franchise Vegas Golden Knights, and we are here. Without the Vegas Golden Knights, we wouldn't be here in this spot. So that's why Marc-Andre Fleury is my number 5.
I wouldn't even
I
put
could have
him
put
as
him number
the
2
best.
because he's number 2
He's
on
not the best
team.
hockey number 1 overall pick.
No, that's the beauty of my top 5. This is my top 5.
Like,
Keep reading, folks.
that's not even the best number 1 pick of that team.
You're gonna see it.
What?
You're gonna see it, folks. Keep reading.
What are we reading?
My list ain't your list. My list is my list.
Chipper Jones is my 5 because I had to put a baseball
Yeah,
guy.
do the baseball. Like, Chipper Jones is a great pick. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame, third baseman,
To me, Chipper Jones was one of the best
championship,
plays ever. Third baseman. Also played left field.
and he does a good job in the booth now. I think.
Is he in the booth for the Braves games?
No, he's on. I think he's on ESPN.
Oh, is he? Are you sure?
Yeah, there we go.
I know, like, because he's on. Because John Smoltz.
I swear he did
Always
some of
talks
those
with him.
playoff games.
Smoltzy talks about him basically every game. I mean, like, you could play a drinking game with how often John Smoltz mentions Chipper Jones in the World Series games or whatever. it may
Probably,
be.
arguably, he's definitely the best field player on those Braves teams.
Those were some good teams. Yeah.
Andrew Jones, was Andrew Jones on that team?
Andrew Jones was on this. I mean, Javi Lopez had some good years. I mean, they had the agents, Julio Franco, a bunch, Fred McGriff.
From McGriff.
They
Yeah, I
did
like
some.
Fred
They
McGriff.
did some good teams, but yeah,
But he
I
was
think
the number 1 pick.
Chipper was the mainstay. Yeah, great.
It's a
choice,
lot of.
great
It's not a
choice.
lot that a lot of baseball number 1 picks.
Well, see, that's the
really
thing.
goes
Like
through.
the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, you almost go straight to the pros. And in the NHL, maybe a year in the minors, but MLB, it's very rare that you are in the
Well, Jack
majors
Hughes,
in a couple of years.
like in the NHL last year, Jack Hughes went right
Right.
And the guy this year, Lafreniere, he'll probably go right to the
Yeah.
Rangers. But yeah, like how long did it take Strasburg to get 2 years?
2 years.
Harper
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
Pat the Bat.
Yeah. And
David
I mean,
Price.
Price was.
Wasn't that his rookie year? He was in the bullpen.
Yeah. 08. Yeah, that was. He might have got drafted in 07, but I don't know. But
Was BJ number 1 overall?
BJ Upton.
Justin
no,
Upton was, I think.
I don't know.
But yeah,
trying to
so
think.
okay, my 4 is LeBron, and no, we hate LeBron on this podcast because we do. We hate LeBron on this podcast, but you can't deny. I guess he's my second basketball. But to do, I mean, he's 1A, he's 1B to Jordan's 1A, and as much as I hate him, you can't deny it because as much as we hate him off the court, he's that fucking great on the court. Not just scoring, passing, rebounding, being a good teammate. On the court. Let me emphasize on the court here. Like,
What were you saying about Lonzo Ball earlier?
he didn't want him.
What were you saying about being a good teammate?
He's a good teammate to Anthony Davis. Okay, throw out the being a good teammate. He's a good passer on the court. I mean, he single-handedly beat the Warriors in 2016, I would say, in that finals.
He doesn't flop, never flops. He never fouls out.
He doesn't ever foul out.
He did foul it out. That's my whole thing. Like, he fouled out of a game with, like, he must have had, like, 35 fouls in that game, but they called 6 of them. And then he's like, LeBron, or they were asking him in the press conference, LeBron, you rarely ever foul out. Well, I don't foul out. And they were like, well, you did tonight. I don't foul out. We're like, well, can you talk about tonight, how you did foul out? You know, can you talk about those? I don't foul out. Like, fuck you, man.
That's fine
You know,
now.
like, bro, dude, sorry. I truly, truly hate this man.
Well, he's my number 4.
I got buy one, get one pizzas tonight. If they were having buy one, get one free pizzas at LeBron James's place, I would go and buy all of them and then throw them in the garbage.
Well,
And then
I
make
wouldn't
sure
go
they
to
have nothing.
Blaze. I saw a horrible review from Blaze Pizza.
That's true. They got a 0 on the
It's a 0 out of 10. I'm not going to go to a place that gets a 0 out of 10 score. So, sorry, Blaze Pizza.
I would throw all the free pizzas in the garbage because I hate them. And I hate
I want
LeBron.
to see you justify Zion.
I don't have to justify Zion Williamson today, but trust me on this. We're going to revisit this list in 10 years. And
Mine will be the same.
yours will be the same. And guess what? Mine will probably be a little different. Cam and Zion might move up the list.
I'm
can see
curious,
you.
like right now though, why is he 4 for
Zion
you?
Williamson, because Zion is a franchise changer. Zion,
He
you know
hasn't
what I mean?
changed the franchise.
Oh, he has. He has. They were garbage. And then Zion came back after his injury in January, and then all of a sudden you're like Zion is like some Christian term or some shit too. It was like Jesus made his way to the
I like Zion. I
the
love
Pelicans.
Zion.
I'm not talking Jesus Shuttlesworth. Fuck that guy. I'm talking about Zion Jesus Williamson. Jesus motherfucking Williamson. That guy, dude, Pelicans, weren't they in the playoffs this year? Absolutely.
No, they were in the play-in game.
Yeah, that's the
No,
same.
they were. No, I can't remember.
I don't know, but they were in the bubble, and I'll tell you what, if you had said to me in January, Matt Nollins is going to be in the bubble, I'd have been like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Then you explained the bubble
More
to
important
me.
would have been, hey Matt, there's a fucking virus coming. It's gonna
Yeah, if you-
fuck up the world.
But let's just say you explained all that, and then I was like, Nollins is gonna be in the bubble? Are you kidding me? You're full of shit. And then you'd be like, watch Zion. And then I watched Zion, and Zion, boom, bubble. And I'll tell you what, Zion, like LeBron can't win by himself. He's like, oh, give me Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis and who else?
That's it.
Okay, Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley. give me all these guys, and I'll win championships.
Technically,
Zion's
Avery
like,
Bradley opted out. He wasn't on the team.
just fine. All right, but hear me out on this. Zion, you know who he's like? You want to give me Lonzo Ball?
He's got
Hi.
Lonzo. He's got,
Hi. Oh, you want to trade Drew Holiday to Milwaukee?
yeah.
That's cool. He's like, I'm Zion fucking Williamson. You know what? I'm gonna go put money on the New Orleans Pelicans to win the NBA championship
In like 3 years.
in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. Not 2025. Because I think he's gonna get hurt that year.
You know who comes into the draft in 2024?
Shaq's son. Bron's son. That's one for me to hate.
He's a 15-year-old right now.
Guilty by association. Hate that kid. Alright, but I'm telling you guys, if you're not on the Zion bandwagon,
I'm on the Zion bandwagon.
get
I am.
on the Zion
I
bandwagon.
love that kid.
He's already the fourth best number one pick of all time.
Okay, now I want to see you defend your 3.
Number 3, Cam Newton.
He had a Super Bowl, won an MVP.
Won a national championship at Auburn. Believe me,
That was before he was a number 1 pick.
still part of his resume. And by the way, what is he got? Is he leading the league in rushing touchdowns for a
think he
quarterback?
I think he is.
I
leading
mean,
the league in
by
this.
the way, he just beat the crap out of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I mean, who beat the Ravens? Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, Super Bowl winners, and then Cam Newton. Maybe it's almost time for Cam to join those other two in the realm of Super Bowl winners. I don't know. We'll see. First Sunday of February. Mark it down. How did it get so loud in just a second ago?
It's just this commercial is super loud.
Like, Jesus, I'm covering my ears. Like, Zion Williamson, that's so fucking loud.
I can't justify Cam. He's been hurt too much.
I mean,
He's
like,
on his second team. He got released.
he got released.
He's on $1 million deal.
Well, that's because they went cheap with Teddy Bridgewater, and how's that working out for him?
He's not the problem.
Oh. Yeah, he's not the solution either. You know who the solution is? Cam Newton. Cam Newton. In fact, that's his new nickname. I'm going to call him that.
The solution?
Yeah, the solution. The solution. Cam
Hang
Newton.
out with Allen Iverson.
Yeah, right?
That's another first round, number 1 overall pick.
Oh, I love Allen Iverson.
I love Allen Iverson. Yeah.
But Cam's the man. Cam's the man. I love him. He's doing an awesome job as the Patriots QB. A lot of people were writing off the Patriots. But as Chris Collinsworth said at the end of the game on Sunday night, and I've never quoted Chris Collinsworth in a good way ever
seriously.
before. I'm about to do it. He said, if you write off the New England Patriots, you do so at your own peril.
I do remember him saying that, yeah.
Yeah. So, you do so at your own peril. And I'll tell you what, there's a couple guys in this world that don't write off the New England Patriots ever. Me, Paul Fitzgerald, a.k.a. Nick Stevens. Check out his videos too, but watch ours and subscribe to ours. You can subscribe to his too. I mean, we're not competitors, but we're pals. We don't write off our boys. And Cam's the man, and Cam's gonna stay the man. And
I'm writing off the Broncos this year.
don't write off your boys. Never write off your boys.
No, they too many injuries. Drew Lock doesn't know what team to throw it to. They go holding in the end zone, so it's safety for Seattle.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, that's a hold.
That's not in the end zone, though.
It's not in the end zone.
Now it is.
Okay,
Ooh, that's close.
I just listen off guys you despise, huh? Because my 3 is
You
Peyton.
did list off a bunch of guys that year 2, 3, and 4 are all guys that I grew up to hate.
Peyton Manning is my 3, first overall pick, franchise changer in Sakti Acropolis, and then on to Denver. Who else has taken 2 different teams to Super Bowls and won them? I don't think anybody. Quarterback? No. No quarterback has won a Super Bowl with 2 teams except for Peyton Manning. No, he was number 1 overall. He's got all the records. Well, he had all the records when he retired. Tommy and Drew Brees have now passed him on yards and touchdowns.
He's a Yankee.
Who?
Oh wait, no, we didn't get that far.
No, you're not there yet. Peyton Manning. We're on Peyton Manning.
Oh, all right. Here's what I was gonna say about Peyton. He's not even in the top 5 of number 1 overall draft picks who make commercials. Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield makes a good commercial.
Did you see the Thanksgiving one?
Not yet. I'll have to watch it.
Oh my God, he's in a concession stand making Thanksgiving dinner, and Emily comes out and she's like, oh, everybody's kind of getting hungry. How long on the turkey? And he's like, pull it out of like the fried thing, and he's like, oh, about 20 minutes. And then he goes, they got the you know, the like the pretzel thing that the pretzels hang on. He's got like sweet potatoes hanging off of that.
We are a fan of it.
He gives him a sweet potato. Gives her a sweet potato. And she goes, here, these will hold it for a while.
I do love the Baker Mayfield commercials. They're amazing. Anytime I take groceries inside now, I can't help but laugh. Because I load up my arms and I just start laughing.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, we'll help you. I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah, well, Peyton Manning would definitely be all-time in commercial making, too. You know?
Yeah, it's true. He does make some great commercials. And I mean, like, you cannot have a chicken parm sandwich without singing chicken parm. Tastes so good. I challenge you to do it. We're going to get chicken parms one day, and the first person to do the chicken parm you taste so good is going to pay for it.
It's like when I make eggs.
Challenge.
In the morning when I make eggs, I can't not sing, when I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large.
Yes.
I can't not sing it.
I eat 5 dozen eggs.
I can't not sing it when I make eggs. It's impossible.
It's a lot of
2
eggs.
is John Elway. Number 1 overall pick. 5 Super Bowl appearances. Now he's 2-3. Yeah. 2 championships, 1 championship as our GM/VP of football operations. Probably the most important person ever in the city of Denver, I would say.
So John Denver.
He's not from Denver.
He's not from Denver. Why the hell is he named Denver? What about the guy that invented the Denver omelet?
Ooh, that's good.
Now that I'm
It's a
grown, I eat
Colorado
5
omelet,
dozen.
isn't it?
Do they put? It's a Colorado omelet.
When I was at IHOP, it's Colorado omelet.
Well, because I think they do something different. Because they put the pancake mix in it. So
Maybe
it's
make
not the
it
same.
Colorado. So make it Colorado omelet.
Don't they put carrots in it or something? Ugh. You know, IHOP has happy hour. No beer, but $5 everything on the menu after 2 o'clock.
I would say John Elway is one of the 5 most important football people ever.
Ooh, 5 most important people ever.
People ever.
Football people ever.
He is.
George Halas,
Dallas, Lombardi,
Lombardi, Lamar Hunt.
Lamar Hunt, John Elway,
Oh no.
Art Modell,
Pete Rozelle.
Pete Rozelle. That's the one I'm thinking
Pete
of.
Rozelle.
John Elway.
O.J. Simpson.
But think about, no one else has been as impactful as a player and a personnel guy. Ozzie
Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome. Yeah.
What about Art Rooney?
He didn't play, did he?
No, but I'm just going back to the top 5 football people.
The only thing, if Peyton Manning became a GM
What
and
about
did that
Curly
for the Colts,
Lambeau?
I don't know.
I'm putting Curly Lambeau. John Elway 6. Sorry, Yankees suck. You're out.
No, that's why, because he was drafted by the Yankees.
John Elway was a New York
Think
Yankee.
about, he's been a great player, Super Bowls.
He
But he's
threatened.
also the most
Colts
famous
with his
draft of
Yankees.
all time. Is him saying no to Baltimore.
And who else was drafted in that draft? Dan Marino?
Jim Kelly,
Jim Kelly. Okay.
Boomer was in that draft.
Boomer Esiason?
Yeah.
But none of those guys ever won a Super Bowl. John Elway was the only one to do so. That's pretty impressive.
No, there's another Super Bowl winning QB in that draft. Why do I want to say Jeff Hostetler?
We won a Super Bowl.
He did. Doug Williams?
We won a Super Bowl.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look up the 84 quarterbacks again. Great 30 for 30 though from LA to Marino. I recommend watching the fuck out of that.
I did not watch that. But if we shut down again, I will go back to my 30 for 30s every day.
Too.
Speaking of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, Drew Bledsoe, also number 1 overall pick in 1993.
93.
He himself won a Super Bowl in 2001 with the New England Patriots. Played another one in 1996 against the Green Bay Fudge Packers. To me, part of the reason why Drew Bledsoe is
He's a great quarterback. Great number 1 overall pick.
over there is because he is the reason I became a football fan. I love Drew Bledsoe. Without him, I am not a football fan. I don't give two shits about football. So Drew is very, very important to my life as a sports fan. You know, I love football, and it's because of Drew. The Patriots were shit. You know, I remember
Is he
watching
your
them as a
favorite
kid.
quarterback?
Yes,
Huh?
he's my favorite quarterback ever. Yes. I know I've said some things about another quarterback, but he's dead to me.
I can't think of another quarterback like besides John Elway. Like I don't love Jake Plummer like that. I don't love Brian Greasy. Bubby Brister. Gus Farrat played for us for a little bit.
What about Trevor Seaman?
Simeon.
Whatever.
Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch. I mean, he was so good.
Flacco. Fucking Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, yeah.
Tebow. I love Tebow.
Tebow, another former Patriot. But no, like in all seriousness,
I love Tim Tebow. I really do.
With Bledsoe, I mean, like we watched shitty New England teams beforehand, and I mean, you would watch them and they were like, oh, there's the Patriots, go Patriots, we suck. You know, luckily we were never like the Aints fans and afraid to be Patriots fans or ashamed to be Patriots fans, but you know, Bledsoe, he changed everything. He changed everything, and you know, I mean, I guess it kind of coincided with Mr. Kraft buying the team too. And, you know, there are a lot of things that just you look at that era. You know, Mr. Parcells, Mr. Kraft, and Drew. It's a whole different world, and it's because of Drew, my man. My one? Yeah, I'll do my one. And I didn't have any baseball players on my list. I started looking at the number 1 draft picks, and I'm like, how do I move these around? And then I saw, I don't need to move this around. I don't think there's any player that had a greater impact on the sport and on his team and on the city than what Junior Griffey had in Seattle. The reason the Mariners play in Seattle today is because of Junior Griffey. The reason Safeco Field and this field now also exists is because of Junior Griffey. The most beautiful swing ever, sweetest swing.
The sweetest swing ever.
I mean, just cocky, the way you would come up to bat in batting practice with the backwards hat. He just changed.
That's why I wear a backwards hat.
He made it cool to be a baseball player, you know, and you know, kids growing up in the '90s, everybody idolized him. You were a Thomas guy or you were a Junior Griffey guy, and, you know, I mean, like even as I was a Frank Thomas guy myself. My brother was a Junior Griffey guy, but you couldn't hate on Junior Griffey. I mean, those guys they were just awesome, and the rivalry was back and forth. And
Is he the only guy to ever play with his dad?
I think so. Till Bronny.
Might not necessarily play with LeBron.
Yeah.
They were on the same team.
Yeah, they were on the same team. Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. I was at a game at Fenway watching the two of them play in the outfield.
You know the thing I love about
cool.
Junior is he's the only player I absolutely believe never took steroids in that steroid era.
I agree with you, yeah.
His body broke down how a typical body should break down. It sucks he got hurt when he went to Cincinnati, but
Well, he got stuck on that shitty AstroTurf for his entire career, mostly. in Seattle and
Kingdom, baby.
Cincinnati, yeah, at old Synergy Field, and it sucks. That'll kill you. And you look at a guy that gave 100% every game. Junior was amazing. And he's fun to watch. I still love watching highlights. I'll watch any video about those Mariners teams when he was there. He was a joy to watch. It was an honor to watch him play. I love the guy. I mean, you can't not love the guy. He was the best. He was the best. That's why he's my number one.
At least my number one's on one of my teams.
Dude, my 2, 3, and 5 are on my teams.
And my 1 is my team.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan. I can't believe Tim's not in your list. I just can't believe that.
Do I have the opportunity to explain that though?
I was speaking about how much John Elway meant to Denver. Tim Duncan probably means more to the city of San Antonio than John Elway means to Denver. Like, he is a Spur.
I could believe that, yeah.
I could have thrown another Spur on here. The Admiral was the number 1 overall pick as well.
The Admiral, yeah. I thought I would see the Admiral on your pick. You were more likely to see the Admiral on my list than
He's like
yours.
6th. He didn't mean as much.
I was a big Admiral fan though, but to me the NBA was much better.
If we had best
during
biceps
that
of
era.
all time, then he'd probably be my 1.
Gabe Kapler.
Ed McCaffrey. But Timmy, I mean, I really can't. I could go another hour and a half on Tim Duncan with this podcast. So
I love Tim Duncan. I've known you long enough to know that it is, not only against the laws to say a bad thing about Tim Duncan, but to not love him. I mean, he was an awesome player. He was an awesome guy. He was a Belichickian guy.
it's a Belichickian guy.
And the only thing that keeps Timmy off my list is the year he got drafted to the Spurs, the Celtics had the top odds for the number 1 overall pick. We had 2 picks in the lottery. We sucked that year before. Everybody was saying Celtics are gonna get this Duncan kid from Wake Forest, and it's gonna be awesome, And we watched him play at Wake Forest. And I was like, yeah, this kid's gonna be the next Celtic. I can't wait. And the Spurs get the number 1 pick, and we got the 3 and the 5, which turned into
Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups and Ron Mercer.
Who else in that draft was worth a shit though?
I don't know, but
Chauncey Billups had a good career, just not for the Celtics.
Just not for the Celtics. I would have much rather had Tim Duncan
Well, everybody would have had rather
than the rest of the
19 years in the NBA, 19 playoff appearances.
You could have given me 2, 3,
5
4, 5,
championships.
6. I could have used those next 5 picks as my team, and I would have rather have had Tim Duncan and the other shit we had on the Celtics.
Oh!
Get that ball.
I don't know if Arizona got that.
But
I think Seattle got that back.
the thing is, there's just a bitterness there, and it's not Tim's fault. I don't hold him responsible. I hold the late David Stern responsible, and the fact that the NBA is fixed.
Why would they want the Spurs to get him over the Celtics?
Because
What's a more important NBA franchise back in 1997?
they don't like Boston. Nobody liked Boston. But they loved the Admiral.
He got it. That's him.
No, that's Seattle.
Is it?
Yeah, he's down.
Oh, okay. So
You know how many lottery picks the Spurs have had in their history?
3.
4.
Oh, it's close.
That's insane.
That is pretty insane. That's pretty good, though.
Like the kid we took at 11 was the 4th ever lottery pick we've had. 2 of those 4 lottery picks are first ballot Hall of Famers.
We were gonna go.
We're going. I'm going next year.
Let's hope it's not virtual.
2 of those first overall picks are probably 2 of the 25 best players in NBA history.
Yeah.
So, no offense, kid. that we drafted from Florida State, but
You got some big shoes to fill.
Like
Big
literally,
shoes.
like big,
Literally,
literally
yeah.
and figuratively.
Talking size 17, bro. All right, I'm going to read off my honorable mentions. There are a lot of good number 1 overall picks, and you know what? There were a lot of bad ones, too. So, Shaq was an honorable mention. I mean, gotta love Shaq, right? Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's a good.
Very close to making my list, but honorable mention. Michael Olowokandi forever. Just because I wanted to throw a Olowokandi
Anthony Bennett.
forever. Anthony Bennett didn't make my honorable mentions, but he should have been in Vegas, right? Joe Barry Carroll. Maddest of props to you, Joe Barry Carroll and the Warriors. Kajana Carter, dude.
Kajana Carter.
I loved watching him at Penn State. Him and Kerry Collins at Penn State, dude, they were something special. Unfortunately, so this was the weirdest thing. Like, that was the Carolina Panthers' number 1 pick. Their first ever pick in their first ever draft. And they traded that shit to Cincinnati. And Cincinnati went all Bengals and picked Kajana Carter. Like, what were you thinking, bro?
I think they did a good job this year. I think Joe Burrow's going to do well.
Oh, yeah, maybe. No, I don't think so. Joe Smith, the basketball version, not my future wife's future ex-husband. I love you, Allie LaForce. And Josh Hamilton.
Okay career.
Yeah, no. And we're going to write a musical about it.
Josh Hamilton.
What's your name, man?
Drafted number 1 overall. Hamilton. He's gonna do a lot of drugs and drink. Just you wait. Just you wait. All right. That's all
And
I
when
got.
they, like, he's walking out of rehab, you'll be back. Wait and see. There'll be like a little,
That's fucked up, man.
there'll be like a little syringe walking around. You'll remember you belong to me.
My favorite part of that when he's like, "I'm so blue," and then he stomps on the floor, and the colors turn blue. I love that shit. That's all I got. Bond girls to come.
To come.
Or we could do top 5 199th overall picks. Imagine trying to find 4 others.
Oh, I will find. Yeah, well, because the only one you can think of is dead to me, so. Tommy be watching me like, what is wrong with this fucking guy? And I'll be like, you,
You're what's wrong with
you, man.
I'm gonna look that
I
up right
gave
now.
you everything,
Hey,
Tom.
go
I
Knights, go.
gave you everything, and you left me. Go Knights, go.